Go what?
Get my coffee.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It is so good to see y'all. Hello, hello. So it feels so weird. It feels so weird that we have been gone for so long.
I know.
And actually, I think it's been a month since we've done our podcast. So
Yeah.
If you're just now joining us for the first time, we are Jems Likes Fibers, and I'm Judy.
I'm Emily.
And we are located here in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and that's where you get the name Jems, the Judy, Emily, and Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
So we just got back like this past Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
We have been gone for 3 weeks.
Yes, too long.
Your hair looks a little different this morning.
It is. It's a little darker and a little bit like
we are very
auburny
contrasting.
color.
Yeah. So we have had an exciting 3 weeks. Like when you get ready to leave and then you go and you're like, oh my gosh, it feels like it's going to be for so long that we're gone.
Yes.
And then we're in the middle of it. And I think we were at Maryland. I was like, we only have a week left.
Yeah.
So we started off our show in Georgia, Ellijay, Georgia, for the Georgia Mountain Needle Arts. What did I say? Pacific.
I don't know.
Needle Arts. Good morning, Deborah. And so we started off there, and we got to see Deborah and Valera and Katrin.
Yeah.
Lots of our customers came by, and there was a few that we were looking for, and we were like, where are they at?
I know.
So that's a fun little show, and it's always so nice when we go to the shows and we're in areas where our customers are, and we get to meet them. We actually went out and had like a little, we had a beer actually with Deborah and Katrin and Valera, and it just was fun just to sit down and like talk person to person, and to visit.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a nice. We sat outside.
Yeah,
nice.
So Georgia is. Hey, Sandy, happy Friday. Georgia, Ellijay actually is such a beautiful little quaint town.
It is.
And the thing about all of our shows, we always have these eating places that we always go to that are so good. We found a new one this time. Man, it was really good. What was that called? The Butcher?
Oh, something in Barrel or something.
Butcher
something. I can't
Hey, good
remember.
morning.
So it was really good.
It was good. And there's a Mexican place we always eat at, and that was good. Mm-hmm. But we found an ice cream place.
Yes.
That was right around the corner from our hotel. We were really close to downtown, and we were walking back, and Emily's like, actually, we were driving back that night, and you were like, man, I sure would like some ice cream.
Yeah.
And it was the kind of ice cream shop that you go in and you get your ice cream and then you do all your toppings. And most of the time, like, they weigh it.
Yeah.
Well, this one, they don't weigh it. It's like it was $6 for like a cup like that, and you can put as much as you want. I wanted to just put like but I put like a couple different flavors.
Yeah.
And so then the next night Emily's like, are we going to get ice cream?
Yep.
Abby's ice cream is great. Valera said yes, it was so good. And the second night we went in there, we actually saw Valera, Katrin, and Deborah in there with another yarn dyer. So that was like pretty cool. And it was so funny when Emily and I were in Chicago, we were getting supper one night, and then we were driving out of the parking lot. Emily's like, look at the ice cream. I was like, Emily, no. So we left from Georgia and we headed up to Frederick, Maryland, where we did Yarn Centric. And it was really kind of nice that we went up there. So we left.
And we left Georgia on Monday.
Emily has an aunt that lives.
No, that's not right.
Tuesday. We left Tuesday morning.
Yeah, we left Tuesday.
Emily has an aunt that lives just right outside of Ellijay, and we stayed with her for a few days, and then we headed up to Frederick, Maryland, and we left Tuesday. And so we actually kind of got to set up early on Wednesday, and that was kind of nice that we didn't have to get in the middle of all of the rush
Right.
of everybody trying to set up. But and that was a great show too. It's so nice to see people. I think one of the highlights for the show for me was a customer came walking in the booth and she had on, actually she didn't have it on. She put it on while she was in the booth.
Yeah.
My hat pattern,
Yeah.
Candy Heart's hat, or beanie, and the bulky,
Yeah.
and that was Kim Cruz. And she had got the yarn back, a while ago. I think she had ordered it.
I think so.
But it was just good to visit with her.
Yeah.
And then Emily and I were sitting there talking, because a lot of people, when they come to the shows, they might be flying in and don't want to travel with their yarn. They're like, can I just order the yarn and you ship it? And we're like, yeah. So we were going through and making sure that we had all of our orders marked not fulfilled, that we were making sure that we weren't missing anybody. And somebody was in the booth, and I turned and looked, and I was like, I did a double take. It was Sandy, and she was like, I'll walk just right past you. And I was like, my mind was 100 miles away.
Yeah.
So that was good too. It's just always so good to just, but then we get busy and you can't visit.
I know.
I think you rang her up, and which is good, but it's kind of bittersweet, but it was good. But we had a great show, and visiting with vendors, having new customers come into the booth, and just I love what we do.
Yeah.
I love it, and just seeing when people come into the booth and like, I made this, I made that, and they're getting yarn for this. Really, really fun. And so then we left. We tore down Yarn Century, so that was Friday. And then Saturday was the Maryland Sheep and Wool. And when we went last year, it was raining. It was miserable.
Yeah.
It was cold.
It really wasn't that fun.
And I know that people are like, oh, it's okay. It's just rain. Like, just go through it. We do shows every weekend. And so we get to see a lot of these same vendors. And so for us, it's not, it's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool, because a lot of the shows that we go to don't have like all the animals and that kind of thing. But yeah, when it's rainy and stuff like that, I'm like, I'm just not.
But this year, it wasn't raining.
It wasn't raining.
It was beautiful. We had a great time.
Yes.
We went from barn to building to barn, and there were sheep, all kinds of different sheep. And I really enjoyed that, just walking around and seeing all of the different beautiful breeds of sheep and hearing them holler. And I enjoyed that so much. And we were like, taking pictures and just watching videos. And so, we get our yarn already spun in a skein of yarn, and then we get it ready to dye.
Yes.
We don't, do anything with the fleeces and stuff. But it's really interesting to see on that side, and to get a little bit more knowledge of where all that's coming from.
Right.
But we saw a lot of great vendors. I think we walked around the whole place like twice.
Yeah.
We did the whole loop, and then we got to the very
end. Which last year I don't think we made any purchases.
Yeah.
But we made some purchases this year. So yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I could have walked around a little bit longer, but I'm glad we didn't.
I know. Well, so I walked into one booth, I was coming around the corner, and there was a booth, and they had a big sign talking about indigo. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And so I went into the booth, and they actually had indigo seeds, madder, a few other ones. And so I made a purchase of seeds. It's going to be interesting, get those planted and see what happens. Maybe we might do some natural dyes and start kind of dabbing with some, our dyes that we use is an acid dye. And it's simple, it's easy, but then also you can speckle with it. It's a really good pigments and concentration of dye, and so they're really good. And so I did find one vendor at Maryland that was dyeing with natural dyes, and on her
Right.
label she
It
had all
says-
the yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of interesting, and it's a really beautiful color. And so anyway, you might be kind of playing with that a little bit and seeing what happens. And then I bought some goat soap.
Yeah, I did too.
I've been using one of the bars. It was a big long bar, and so I've kind of broke it in half, so I could let it go a little longer. And that's been really good. And I've been using it on my hands, and I'm really liking it. I think it's making my hands not so dry. What did you get?
That I got a lot of goat soap, and I got well, I can't say, he might watch. I got a gift for my son-in-law.
So you haven't gave it to him yet?
No,
for Father's Day.
It's gonna either be for Father's Day or his birthday. So, but anyway, so yeah, those were my purchases. No, I didn't buy any yarn.
I know we didn't buy any yarn. Anyway, the show was great, and then we left about, so parking. We kind of slept in a little bit that morning. I think we got up at 8.
Yeah.
And we didn't like jump up to get at the gates at 8.
No.
And we got there like 10, I think. Traffic was a little backed up, and I know there were some people complaining, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I think we might have been in traffic for like 30 minutes. But so we left out of there about 3. Does that sound right?
Yeah. No, out of Maryland, out of the show.
Was it later?
No, I think it would, because when did it start raining?
So we left, and
it was not raining at all when we left. Nothing.
And then we were seeing on Facebook that the bottom fell out. There was hail damage, wind damage. People had water. There was like a flash flood. And I felt so bad for those people, because I'm like one of the potteries, and we actually walked into that booth.
We did.
Her stuff was gorgeous.
Yes.
So that was really, really sad that, and I think some people had so much damage that they actually packed up and left. So that was kind of hard to hear. But it was a great show, and I love it. And I look forward to going back again. And it really inspired me. And, in every show that we go, I'm always inspired by yarn patterns.
I mean, I'm constantly looking and seeing what people are wearing, and so
a really, really great show. So then we got up early Sunday morning and headed to Rosemont, Illinois, which is just right outside of Chicago, to do H&H America, which is a wholesale show. This is the first time we've ever done a wholesale show. Oh my gosh, y'all. We were so nervous. Of course, since we have been from show to show, we had our whole cargo trailer.
Yes.
Full of carts, yarn, tables, everything. And so since this was our first show, we just did like a 5x10 booth, which is like a half. And you're only, you're just supposed to put a little bit of stuff in the booth for people to kind of get an idea.
Feel and see. And,
Well, at this venue, we were able to pull the truck and trailer in there, and I was like, okay, so we started taking this, and we went in the booth, and we were like, this is not going to fit in here. What are we going to do? And I just felt like this, like this nausea in my stomach. I'm like, I have no idea what we're doing. No idea. But we figured it out because we were like, oh, we'll put this cart and this cart and this cart. And I was like, it's not going to fit. So we put some yarn in the boxes so people could see, touch, kind of look at colors. And then we had we had 2 carts. Yeah. And so people could see more colors. And then, but we had an amazing week. It all turned out really good. We got yarn shop orders. We met with yarn shops. We scheduled trunk shows. It just was an overall great experience.
We got some ideas for some of y'all's Halloween boxes.
Yes.
And Advent boxes. So that was really good. I mean, it was very, I don't know. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Lots of good information.
There was a sample show that we did, and that was Tuesday night. And what that was, we actually did some of our kits for the Accidentally in Love,
Mm-hmm.
and this is our yak fingering, and then also yarn sets for the Embrace Autumn, both of those patterns by Callie Monster.
Mm-hmm.
So we did kits for people to come in and buy, and it was kind of slow at first because there was there was quilting fabric there as well,
Mm-hmm.
and there was another vendor there that was doing fat quarters, and she had them like packaged all together. People were running in to get this, and so once that like whole booth was like gone, like it was like sold out, like that, then people started like shopping.
And then right down from like 2 booths down from us, remember we were looking like, what are they giving? Like, what are they doing? And then we found out it was punch needle.
Yeah, right. I mean, people were like, "Wow!" You know, just like it was like Black Friday madness. But so that kind of was like really interesting because then when they started coming by our booth, then it started getting like a booth swarm. We were like, "Oh my gosh! Like, what's going on?" But one of those people that came in there was our very first customer at 10 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah,
she was in our booth at 10 o'clock. Opening morning of the show, and she placed an order. We were like, wow, this is good.
Yes.
So very, very uplifting and just like a fun experience. And so we'll definitely be back next year. And if you have an LYS, a local yarn shop that you do business with, and you want us to do business with them, tell us to give us a holler, send us an email. We would love to work with them because we did get quite a few wholesale, and we already got one ready almost to go out, and we've only been home like several days. And so really exciting. Another thing that was really exciting, there were a lot of companies there that were from, so one of our main yarn suppliers was there. And I was sitting in the booth, and I do all the ordering and the emails. And so anyway, he walked around the corner. He was like, "Hey, Judy." And I was like,
who are you?
Who are you? And so he told me who he was. And then, and so that was really cool to get to see. Like,
now you have a face with the name.
Right. Yeah. Right. And so that was fun. And, and so people were walking by, and they're like, "Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Yes, you're so-and-so from so-and-so." Or, and then, so there's a yarn shop. So when we go to the East Coast, like North Carolina, like when we first started doing shows over there, we'd go through Atlanta.
Right.
That's a no. We have got stuck so many times. So now we go to Birmingham and then turn north and go through Gadsden and then over that way. So there's a yarn shop in Gadsden that
she was there.
She actually stopped by our booth the night of the sample sale, and I saw her tag, and I was like, "Oh, you're in Gadsden." I was like, "We're in Mississippi." And she's like, "What?" So we connected, and she came by the booth several times. We got to meet her, and she did like a little video of us and took pictures. And so that was really, that was fun.
Was nice.
But, so there were several companies there that, wholesale like undyed yarn. It's a couple of them from Great Britain. And so, we visited them, we looked at yarn. And we kind of getting the feeling that, when we first started dyeing yarn, everything was pretty much all superwash. But I think the trend is going toward more of a non-superwash, especially like for sweaters. And so we kind of looked for some non-superwash yarns, and we found some, and they are freaking amazing. I love them. And so we should be getting our first order in next week, hopefully, and we can start talking about that and showing you. But we want to dye it and see, because we got like a couple different bases.
Right, yeah.
And we want to see what we like. And but I'm really, really excited.
I am too.
Really, really excited. And it's something so different than we've ever had. And so one thing that we've noticed, like, okay, so our yak that we have has a gray base naturally. And so the yak is a little bit lighter than this. This is actually has some gray dye added to it. So the
Right.
yarn is actually more of a brown gray.
Yeah.
And then when you dye it, you'll see. So this is actually red, and it looks kind of purple in that picture, but you'll see a lot of the gray still coming through. And we're really, really liking this because it gives it more of a heathered look,
Yeah.
a very beautiful tonal look. So we have picked out a few more gray yarns. One of them has alpaca, and then the other one is I can't remember either, but it is a different breed of sheep. It's not merino. And so we did get some other different breeds.
Yeah.
We looked at a Polworth. So anyway, I'm really excited about all of these new ones. But with one of them, actually two of them, maybe three of them, they have a natural gray base, and so we'll be adding the dye. And so I'm really, really excited. There's another one that we're going to be getting that's not coming out. They're not going to have it ready until September, and it's I really like it too.
I really like that.
Anyway, that is really, really exciting. Next weekend, we are going to be in Fairhope, Alabama, at the yarn shop there, which is Southern Twist. We were there in 2019, I think.
I think so. Maybe 2020.
Was it 2020?
I think it might have been 2020.
Okay.
I'm not positive.
You're right. I think we were at Mobile Yarn Shop in 2019, and then the next year, in 2020, we went and did a trunk show there. So she is celebrating her 6th year in business. Because she went into business right about the time that we went into business. Yeah. And so she's having her anniversary sale, and so we're going to get to do our trunk show. We're bringing all of our yarn. So if you're close to anywhere in that area, we'd love to see y'all. We're looking forward to a fun weekend. Hopefully it's not raining, because the last time it was raining. Looking forward to a fun weekend on the beach. And then in 2 weeks after that, we're going to be at Estes Park, Colorado, and that's June 7th and 8th. That's a fun show too. And then after that, we're kind of off for the summer. Last year I went on a mission trip to Mexico, and I am doing it again this year. I'll be gone June, I don't write that down, did I? June 17th to the 23rd.
Yeah.
I'll be gone for my birthday again. I'm kind of sad about that.
Well, we'll just have to celebrate your birthday before or after.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do that.
So
we didn't do that last year. So we need to do that.
Anyway, I will be gone. I also want to tell you there is a new pattern that was released Wednesday. It is called the Sliding Squares Wrap. A local customer, Amy Crumpton, that lives over in Starkville, Mississippi, she kind of started playing with some designs, and she created one design pattern earlier this year, and now she's created another one. She picked up some yarn from us when we were in Oxford, and she just released it. It's called, are you pulling it up?
Yeah.
Sliding Squares Wrap, its own Ravelry. It is using 2 packs of our minis, Sirens and Echidna. We were actually sold out of Echidna, and so I'm having to dye some. We sold out of it on our trip. And I posted a picture of it on Instagram, but Emily's got it pulled up right here. Can y'all see that? So Sirens has the pinks, oranges, all the way to the yellow, and then Echidna goes the lime green all the way to the dark green. So
it's so cool. I love it.
It is. Amy did a really good job of picking out colors, and then you do a contrast, like a graphite or a jet, and really pretty. And then there's another design, another pattern. She uses Mrs. Babs as well.
Okay. Oh, it's so nice.
I know she did a really, really good job. And so you can find that on Ravelry, and it's called Sliding Squares Wrap. She actually is sending the wrap to us, so we'll be able to have it for our next show.
Nice.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay, what else? I have a note here. So when we were at H&H, right, so we had like a 5x10 booth, and so our booth went like this. Well, then going this way, like on our back side was another vendor, and it was Dana with Isadora Popper out of Clayton, Georgia. And so when we walked in the booth and we kind of introduced ourselves, and she was like, "Do you know so and so?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I'm so and so." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
I know how out of like there was how many vendors there?
500.
Yeah, and it's just so weird when things like that happen.
So the whole weekend we were kind of like, and she would like leave her booth and we'd kind of watch it. But then I look back and sometimes she'd just be gone because she was actually placing orders
for her. Yeah.
But it was so nice to visit with her, and you know, and we'd be like laughing or talking about somebody, and we were just like, or Emily and I would be talking, and then you know, like what's that TV show where they're like right across the fence?
Oh, like Tim Allen?
Yes.
Oh. Like what is it? Home Improvement or something? I don't know.
I kind of felt like that because Emily and I'd be talking, all of a sudden you'd hear this other voice. Yeah. Because she was like listening to us, and she'd say, "Well, so and so and so and so," and I'm like, "Oh!" I mean, I just totally forgot that she was back there. So that was really funny, and so we got to hang out like all week.
Yeah, that was fun.
We had a lot of laughs like the whole weekend, but that was really nice to meet her.
Let's see what that is.
Sure. Are you gonna leave me by myself?
Yeah, you're.
It's. I'm trying to look and see if I can hear. But so we are busy in the dye pots, dyeing all of the yarn for the wholesale orders, trying to replenish all of the yarn sold at the last 3 shows, and we are getting ready to head out Thursday to I'm trying to listen to her at the same time and talk, and so we'll be heading out to Southern Twist in Fairhope, Alabama. We do have our Friday discount set up, and it's 10% off using code Friday, and that is good today until midnight. We will not be here next weekend because we'll be at the yarn shop. But then we should be back the next weekend. This summer we're kind of home quite a bit. And so hopefully we can get back on our schedule of doing our podcast and stuff. I think that is it that we're supposed to be talking about. So I hear the conversation now that Emily's on the phone, so I need to go get this conversation, and I guess we will see y'all in 2 weeks. Thanks for joining us. We love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see y'all soon. All right. Bye.